Then I'll call the
Yeah,
meeting
thank
to
God
order.
June took a picture.
Yeah,
I thought
and
we,
just called the meeting to order. Who's
I thought
taking
we
minutes?
approved, I thought we approved the one that June took the picture of.
I thought we did at the ATM.
Did you approve it
No.
that night?
No, I think you approved them on the 15th, I think.
That's what I thought too.
All right, well, I wasn't there, so I just wanted to make sure they got in.
Okay.
Well, we can always revote to approve them.
Assuming we still haven't changed our mind.
You had said at one point, Margaret, that Mary was on, is she joining us?
Mary's here.
Okay,
Oh, except it looks like she's frozen.
You said Mary or Barry?
Mary.
Mary Porter, she was here and
She's here.
Mary,
There
oh, there
she
she
is.
is. There she is.
I think is she driving?
No, she's
No,
trying to
she's just
find
wandering
a
around
good
her house.
signal.
Can you hear me now?
She's actually at my parents' house helping us out. The best signal is the dining room table.
Okay, so if
So
you,
Janet
I
recognizes
recognize
the
the house.
location.
you know where I landed, Janet? Right by the piano.
Yep, I know exactly where you are.
So Wheel of Fortune is on in the other room. Might get a little loud, but that's why I went out on the porch, but the signal.
If you buy a vowel, Mary, I'm gonna be upset. Don't waste your money. Just keep spinning.
I'm not even, I'm not buying anything. Yeah.
All right, so should we just vote? Should we just vote on the annual town meeting minutes anyway, just to,
Taking the minutes tonight.
well, Michael, can I ask you too, since Janet's driving and Mary has an aversion, we have to get her over her aversion before I can ask her. And Julie's not official yet, so we have, because, you know, our friend Barry is not,
I don't think I'm official yet either, because I
Yeah, you
haven't
are.
done that swearing in thing.
oh, you haven't been
You haven't
sworn in?
been sworn in yet.
No.
Swore once
Nope.
before. We know you swore.
Oh, well, actually then, if, well, you don't have to be, we still have a quorum even without you being sworn in, Janet.
Yep. Yep.
So should we,
No, I'm on a meeting.
Margaret, do you think that we should just vote those minutes?
I think that would be the safe bet, yes.
Yeah.
Blood right now, so I'm
May I have a
covered.
motion to that effect?
So moved.
I know, but I'm covered against blood right now.
What? What?
It's not mine.
Did someone say so moved?
Mary.
Second.
Hi, Janet.
Hold on, Janet, we got to decide if we have any discussion about this first.
Oh, sorry.
Do we have any discussion about these minutes that we've already probably approved
These are the minutes of
of the ATM and from June?
5/22,
Yes, no,
6/22.
6/22.
Okay.
June
Okay.
22. Yeah.
All right, so no, now that we have the date down, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll vote.
We shouldn't have been allowed to play. I wanted to say
Already
something.
voted yes. You still vote yes, Janet?
Janet votes she's frozen.
Mary?
Yes.
Hi, Janet. Yep.
Aye, Michael.
Hi, Stan.
Okay,
Sounds like we have a 4-0 vote.
we do.
All right.
So noted.
So noted. We should probably have some sort of agenda for tonight, not that we really do. I think probably the first order of business is electing a chairman, as much as I don't want to bring it up.
But with regard to that, I should probably tell you what I told you
Yeah, let's
before.
do that first.
Okay. I am putting my home on the market, and I am planning to move as soon as it sells to Colorado.
Wow. Nice.
My older son, more importantly, my grandchildren are moving from Houston, which I've really never wanted to live in, to
Can't blame you there.
right outside of Boulder, which I've always wanted to live in.
Wow, that's
Oh,
a win-win.
nice.
So
A win-win.
I'm going. I mean, I took a look at my work and said, okay, I have locational requirements only for one thing I'm doing, and that locational requirement is I go to Kenya. So it doesn't matter if I leave from Boston or if I leave from Denver.
Oh, I bet the flights are much better here, Michael. You can't go.
No,
That's right.
actually, Boston international connections suck.
Yeah, everything's got to go out of New York pretty much, right?
Yeah, they're very limited. Denver is a major hub, and so yeah.
Hmm.
And besides which, it doesn't matter. My grandchildren are there.
Yeah, I
So
wouldn't have
you're
thought
gonna be,
Denver would be a major hub.
you're gonna be sorely missed.
That is for
Well,
sure.
thank you. You know,
Yes, you will.
and I'm going to miss you all. However,
You can always
Liar.
come to Zoom.
That's true.
That's right.
Yes.
That's the great thing about this.
Yeah. Well, if you invite me, I'll be happy to continue to come.
You just you Zoom. What is that? There's got to be a phrase for that. What is it? Zoom bomb? Or I mean, it's not a photo
No,
bomb.
no,
But
Zoom
there's gotta
bomb
be a
is when
phrase
you're
by-
misbehaving when you Zoom.
There has to be.
This is
That's
Zoom
phrase,
guest.
isn't it?
Zoom guest.
Zoom guest.
It's a public meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yep.
But I would not be a resident.
Oh,
No, you
Public
can
meeting.
still go, I think. I don't think it
Okay.
matters.
Oh, good.
No excuse. You can still come.
So anyway, as a consequence, I am certainly not in the running to be the chairman or whatever it's called.
I believe it is called the chairman. Yes.
Okay.
So, do we have any nominations for said chairman?
I nominate Stan.
Oh, gee, shocking. Didn't see that coming.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second, Mike?
Do we have a second nominee? Do we have a second nominee? It's the real question. Oh,
Mike, I think we can do it.
all right, I will reluctantly serve.
Thank you, Stan.
Yeah.
Come on,
you're welcome.
Stan.
did a
You
great
figured
job
it all
last
out there.
year in that-
That's right.
Unprecedented year.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all,
yeah, I'm like a crisis president. Yeah, I'll be the crisis chairman.
no more crises though. No more.
Ugh, I hope not.
You see,
Yeah.
Wait a
you're not
second.
required to dress up, you know, that's.
I do
Right.
like that. I do like that.
What did you call it? A wartime chairman?
Yeah, wartime,
You can be
yeah.
a wartime chairman.
Wartime chairman.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, I think we have to get after Barry clearly to
Yeah.
fill our membership roles here. So I will shoot him an email as a not so gentle reminder about that.
Yeah. Just back to my membership in this committee. I am willing to stay on as long as I'm here.
Okay.
Or I will leave right now if you would.
No, that's not an option.
Okay. So, I mean, I will stay. You know, the most optimistic in terms of my leaving would be early to mid-November. That is, the house goes on the market on the 10th or the 11th of September. You know, if it sold, if it went under contract that week, then it's still 45 days before I'd be going. Minimum 45 days.
Okay.
I appreciate that, Mike, that you're hanging in there.
Hey, I enjoy this and I enjoy all of you, and
Mhm.
least I can do.
Thank you.
All righty.
What happened? She
So
was
what
there.
else do we need to discuss this evening?
Well, if I could, through Chair Stan, I developed the calendar guide. I've given this a try at the first draft for the fiscal 22 budget. And my goal here with setting the dates was to bump things up, try to bump things up by a month. In a lot of cases, so we could get a head start on setting the budget. I know it didn't work last year because we ended up having to redo everything, but I'd like to give the finance committee plenty of time near the end to be able to wrap up your process, develop your report, and so you're not facing a really tight crunch time. So what we're looking at here, last year, unfortunately, I printed out the revised calendar and didn't get it off the copier when I left. But I think this calendar.
Did you send it to us?
I did. I sent it to
Yeah.
you. I sent it to you today. And I made a couple of very minor revisions.
Let me bring it up and put it on the screen.
I actually have it. I could do it if you'd like. I'll pull it up.
You could do that.
Okay. Here it is.
There it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, we don't have to go through everything. I just wanted to let's see, where was it? Distribution of the budget package, like kind of the official kickoff, looking at October 26th. Last year, and I don't have last year's either. That's terrible. But I know everything was running a little farther behind last year. So everything here bumps it up a bit and tries to keep us on track.
Margaret, would you like bump up the kickoff meeting? Because usually that's when the packages are distributed.
Yes, I could do that. Yes, I could do that. The reason I have this here, and I can do it for department heads and boards and committees, I can move both of these up by a week. But I had planned to do the budget kickoff meeting with department heads at a regularly scheduled department heads meeting, but we can move it up. That's fine.
I mean, it's up to you, but normally that's when we hand them out, but you could hand them out, I guess, ahead of time.
Yep, that's not a problem. We can move up both of those dates. That's fine with me. I know the capital planning committee, I believe Anna's trying to schedule September 15th, Tuesday, September 15th as their kickoff meeting for this coming budget cycle. And I think tomorrow I'm actually going to be emailing all departments, boards, and committees with the updated capital request spreadsheets. So they will be in the works. And the deadline to submit those will be November 2nd. That is actually the date set in bylaw, so that's not flexible. Any questions on this draft? The few minor changes I made today were to actually annual report items. So the deadline to submit annual reports is for the prior calendar or fiscal year. So it's been kind of, I don't want to say loose. It's been kind of at a committee's discretion as to whether they submit for the prior fiscal year or the prior calendar year. We want to try to establish a little bit of consistency in the year that is being reported in the town reports.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain requirements for financial entities like the finance committee where you have to do some, and the accountant, have to do some reports on a fiscal year basis, but most other committees should be doing calendar year reports. And then the only other two things I did was I just updated dates and put a revised date. So these would be your end dates.
Key dates.
The March final budgets and FinCom report would be sent to the board on March 19th for the annual town report. I think this schedule gives you a lot of time to meet with departments, boards, and committees about their proposed budgets. So any comments, questions?
Are you keeping those on Wednesdays at this point, Margaret? Is that what
Yes,
those dates
yes.
are?
Anything you schedule. I really haven't even plugged in. I've plugged in a few meetings for you, but you haven't set your meeting schedule yet. So
Oh, yeah, I saw most of them said TBD, but I mean, there's March
Yeah.
10th, March 17th, and those are Wednesdays.
These are Wednesdays. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Margaret.
go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Stan.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So are we planning a special town meeting?
Yes, we have to. We
Where-
have to. The list is getting longer. We deferred all bylaws except for the ones that were voted back in 2019 to a special town meeting. We deferred some capital items and they're needed. And we're developing a longer list today. I think I added 2 more potential articles to a special town meeting warrant. That said, I don't think we would, I wouldn't be recommending a special town meeting until the very end of November or the beginning of December, because we need to take care of our year end, get free cash certified. Eloise needs to get through some major elections here. So there's a lot going on this fall.
How do we look financially? When we put the budget together finally a few months ago,
Yeah.
we were worried about what was going to happen. So what has happened?
Well, there's one of the most noticeable things. We talked a lot about meals and rooms tax. That has been true with the hit that
Zero.
has taken. The last quarter that we just received, we had, I think it was just over 4,000. It was about $4,363.
About
The quarter before that, I
approximately.
think, we're talking $363 in total for
And
room
27
tax.
cents.
That's, yeah. June, what was it the quarter before that?
I don't remember now.
Oh, I don't either, but it was in the tens of thousands of dollars,
Yeah.
you know. But we were, the administrative finance team, we met this morning, we talked a little bit about this. The state had allowed, in the last quarter, the state had allowed those establishments to defer the state taxes. So it's possible that in the next quarter, we might see a little bit of a bump up for the taxes that were supposed to have been paid the last quarter. And I do know that at times, the hotel down at Riverbridge has been running recently at 40% capacity, which is really good news, actually. Yeah. Yeah, compared to what it's been.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have a measure on a lot of other things. We are still bringing in
Right.
building permit revenue.
Can I interrupt for a second?
Oh,
Janet
yeah.
says she's been listening and she's trying to get in as a.
I've just
Oh,
promoted. I've just
oh, I don't
promoted
see
her
her
to
yet.
panelist.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I just saw that she was listening.
Sorry, Margaret, go ahead.
I just lost my train of thought.
Derailed
What
your
else?
train.
We talked, building permit revenues.
Yeah.
We are still generating building permit revenues.
What about tax collection?
Tax collections have been good. Tax collections were steady. We did not see a drop in property tax collections. The big motor vehicle excise commitment is coming up when? That's not.
After the first of the year, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is. So we really don't have an indication on that yet.
Yeah.
We also, the state legislature has said that they will commit to keeping our local aid level and not cutting it. So that's the legislature saying that. We'll see. But we won't know anything on that until late winter anyway. June, what else? Motor vehicle excise. We don't, yeah, like I said, motor vehicle excise, we won't
Mhm.
really know. So far, Michael, we haven't seen huge
Not too bad.
yet. Right. The board over the last since you last met, or maybe even before, the board has had to take a number of measures, like contingent measures, due to COVID. And the latest one they have had to do, these are kind of, we have to take this vote just in case, kind of like the 112 budget. That was one of those things that they did. The most recent one was voting to support the issuance of preliminary semi-annual estimated tax bills. But based on our meeting this morning, we believe we're going to be able to issue the regular semi-annual tax bills. And although they may go out a couple of weeks late, it's possible that they will go out a full month before they did last year. So they actually might go out earlier than they did last year. So we're working really hard to try to get the normal billing cycle in the works. June, do you have anything to add to that?
No, they pretty much covered it. It's still a little too early. I would say
It is early.
hopefully by the end of September, we'll have a better feel for at least what the first quarter looks like for this fiscal year. But I mean, right now, like Margaret said, the building is still going on. The inspectors are still pulling in permits.
Yeah.
So really the only big hits that we've seen so far are the meals in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And when do we see state, I mean, when is state money?
We've
Late-
actually been
late winter.
receiving it monthly for the state money, for the cherry sheet.
Oh, yeah,
That's monthly.
yeah.
In meals in hotels, I mean, we really haven't had a hotel that long,
We haven't.
you
No.
know? And as far as meals tax, I'm trying to think of what we have for restaurants.
Yeah.
I mean, the flat penny was hardly any last year, or whatever you want to call it
It's
on the radio.
nothing now.
Yeah,
It's not on the tracks, it's on the run.
yeah.
Oh,
And,
Or the lamb.
On the lamb.
and, you know, we haven't, I mean, I'm trying to think, there's a couple Dunkin' Donuts, right? That would,
110 Grill, Dunkin'
Western
Donuts.
Grill.
I don't know, what
What,
the,
did you say 110?
the
Yeah.
food court at BJ's, isn't that Berlin's too?
yeah, I think there's
Red Barn
certain
Cafe.
areas
Did you get that one, the Red Barn Cafe?
Yeah,
down at
that's
River
probably
Bridge.
ours,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, they're not.
Casa Diva here, or is that in Northborough?
No,
Northborough,
that's Berlin.
That's Northborough, yeah. No, is it?
Casa
That's
Diva,
okay.
the old grill,
Um,
that's in Northborough.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you
there's
meant the River Bridge, that's Berlin.
PGI's down at Solomon Pond is another one, and
Olive Garden.
Nope, I think
That's
that one's,
Northborough.
yeah, I think so.
yeah, no,
That's Northborough?
I think so. The hotel
Either
there
Northborough or Marlboro.
yeah.
is
I
right
think
there.
little establishments, you know,
I thought
even like
that end of the
the,
mall was ours.
No, it's the other side of the road.
Yeah,
We would be on the other side.
Yeah.
yeah, so, it's still early. It's still early.
But like Margaret said too, is that they were able to defer it, I believe it was for the first 2 months. So hopefully they should be starting to pay that in on top of their regular stuff. So
Mhm.
Okay.
like I said, I think that by the end of September, at least we'll get a better feel as to what this year is doing, as long as we don't have any setbacks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. So, town's looking good. Finances are looking pretty good still at the moment.
Good. 2 minutes to the game.
I know. It's okay.
Uh-oh, okay. What game? Red Sox?
The
What game?
Bruins.
Oh my God.
The Bruins.
My
All right,
boss said-
Hey,
go quick.
I don't
My
know,
boss
is
said
that
to me
room,
today,
Stan,
"Why
is
are
this
the-"
room for dismissal of Margaret if she doesn't know her sports? I mean, that should have
It's
been
quite
on our,
possible.
that
quite
should have been on our, you know, our.
Should have been.
On the search committees.
Yeah.
set of
Okay, if you
questions.
terminate her, you're taking over.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Whoa.
deal.
No, it was just a joke.
Well, my boss said to me today, Margaret, he said to me, "Why is hockey playing now anyway?" I guess you're clearly not a fan either, so don't feel bad.
I just heard
I
that the high
usually
school-
am. I usually love the Bruins, but I just haven't. It's
Well, it's hard to get
everything's all
excited in the
skewed.
summertime, but yeah, it's
So I just heard on the news tonight that the high school football season in Massachusetts will start in February.
really,
Yes.
wow.
Really?
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I thought I heard something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wanna wrap it up, right?
Well,
I think that was the point.
I just, look, I want to stress something. Do you remember the free cash guidelines that we introduced to FinCom last year?
Yeah.
We really, really, really need to work on those before this year's free cash is certified. We left a lot of free cash in the base for this year. And because of the spending freeze this year, it's likely that we're going to see another real bump in free cash. And rather than expose ourselves to that so-called free cash frenzy, it would be so nice to have a plan in place to allocate free cash to different buckets, so that we can control the use of free cash. So at one of your future meetings, I'd appreciate if we could maybe work on those a little bit.
Is the selectmen have any initiatives that they're looking to, like, I know that there's the whole conversation about maybe doing some solar at
Yeah.
the barn. We
Yeah.
could maybe do a bullet list of, okay, these are some initiatives that we want, and this is where we're going
Yeah.
to put our free cash, should there be any free cash, because I think
Mhm.
putting it back into the town is where it should go.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know?
definitely. And into savings, some sort of programmatic savings mechanism so that we can reapply it later and not eat it all up now, right?
Because
So
we
it's-
also, if I may, we also want to keep in mind that we don't know what the next couple of years are going to
Oh,
bring.
I know,
think
I'm not
it's-
trying to spend money, I get that, but I'm just saying, if we do have a surplus, we should have, so we don't have everybody wanting our money,
Well, that's what we're saying, is that
Yeah.
it would be
Yeah.
really nice if we could put some into stabilization so that we can
Right.
Right.
stabilize the taxes the next couple of years. If
So that
things
ought to
don't
be
happen.
on the agenda very soon for
How about the next
our
meeting?
next
I was
meeting.
going to say, there's no
Thank
reason
you,
it can't be at the next
Mary,
meeting.
thank you.
Okay. I'll go, I don't know if I sent you the draft again, but I will do it. Julie, I'm happy to share documents with you too. If you give me your email address and
Okay.
at least refer to them, and while you're waiting. What is your email, Julie? The other
Nobody's
thing,
watching, there's only 7 participants.
No, but this is
It's
being
recorded.
I know it's recorded, I know.
Lots of
available
people
to
are
the
pulling up this
world.
recording and watching it, I'm sure.
I
Lots
can
of people.
actually ask, these are editable, so I can actually ask Brittany to edit this.
Okay, thank you.
No, we can leave that little tiny piece out. All right, there's two more things I have. First of all, I don't know if I mentioned in the last budget cycle, or when you were meeting last, that the Division of Local Services out of the Department of Revenue, they have a Technical Assistance Bureau, and the board requested that they come to Berlin and do a financial management review of our financial offices, our financial departments, to see if they could make any recommendations on improvements and efficiencies and things like that. They were supposed to have come early summer, but they were all out straight with the COVID pandemic. And so they are now planning on starting our financial management review in October this year. This is a really good thing that the Bureau comes in and they end up doing a full report with recommendations and best practices for us. So that'll be really helpful.
Margaret, who is this? It's the,
Division of Local Services through the Department of Revenue. And then
Does FinCom have any involvement in that, Margaret, or is that just for town employees?
they might do a couple of interviews or something, but they really look at the operations side of it. So I'll keep you posted, let you know when they're here.
Okay.
And then the last thing that I have is the contingency line item. There has been no demand on any of those pieces of the contingency line item from the policy, but the HR consultant is working on finishing up the class and comp plan. And based on those updates, the personnel committee is going to be reviewing market adjustments for certain employees. And so at some point, we will come back. We may come back to the finance committee, or the personnel committee may, and ask for approval to use some of those funds for market adjustments.
Hi, Peter.
Oh, who is that?
Peter Wheeler.
Peter,
Zoom bombing us.
He's at my parents' house on Walnut Street.
Yeah, get out of here,
Okay.
Wheeler. No one wants you here.
oh,
I guess
So
he's
anyway.
been thrown out of better places.
Yeah, he would have said the same thing to me if I had been doing the reverse. So
I know.
I don't know if he's been thrown out of better places. Come on.
oh, sure he has.
28 Walnut Street's pretty great.
Well, yeah, I did just leave the vineyard, so.
Yeah, well.
Oh, just dropping. Oh, just left the vineyard. Oh, yeah.
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 Right, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
So those are really,
Sorry, guys, there's life happening around me right now, but.
Were there any surprises on the comp, Margaret?
it's a mix, really. I think we have a couple of positions. I'm going to give you just one example. Council on Aging Director that we had already made an adjustment to with this new hire. As you know, that's one that's already waiting for use of the contingency line. It's still about 30% behind market, if not more. So, I mean, there are a couple of positions that are very, very low, a couple of positions that are high, some that are right where they should be.
What are some of the high ones?
Well, all right. So police chief shows us high, I show is high. There are others that are high.
Well, we knew you were going to be high, but that was a plan when we hired you because we wanted someone with experience and we knew we had to have a decent salary to get somebody with experience.
Yeah.
But didn't we just renew the fire chief's contract? Is he that much higher? Should we have waited for comps to come before we did something?
You said police, you didn't say fire. Did you say fire?
Police. Sorry, but I meant police.
You know, so
I know
these are, go ahead, June, I'm sorry.
There was a couple of things too that need to be re-looked at because I know like with the police that there was
Susan. Bye, Susan.
Hi, Stan. Just saying hi to everyone.
You guys are just affirming the fact that I have no control over my own committee. Thank you.
Are these
You
official
and Peter
guests?
can just
I have
go
to-
off in the other room again.
Hey, have a good meeting.
Stan, are these
Yes.
official guests I have to record?
I don't know,
No,
June, you're going to
no,
touch on the
absolutely
contract
not.
provisions?
Wrap up soon, 'cause
well, there was comments that have been made that they may not have been comparing complete apples to apples on some of them
Yeah.
because like with the police chief, his also includes incentive and a couple of other things where other towns don't always record it together. It may be separate. So it's just things that need to be verified. That's all.
They do, yeah. Contract provisions can vary widely. And so the consultant may be able to kind of bundle that in with their project to actually do a contract comparison.
No, I don't have any problem. I was just curious because I know you were very interested in seeing like my guess is the town clerk is probably underpaid. My guess is the librarian is probably underpaid.
I think there are some positions that are underpaid. I don't know that most are significantly underpaid. There are a couple. And you know, honestly, with only $33,000 in this pot for those market wage adjustments, we're going to have to be very careful. I mean, some of these might have to be incremental adjustments. That's all.
Totally understandable. But that was a good thing to get done, just so we would know where we're at.
Margaret, I assume we will not automatically adjust down if people are.
There will be no adjustments down.
That's good.
But there are other ways to, control increases. So no one is going to be cut. No one's wages
In there. Your new office is this closet.
So, and Margaret, in your budget, your preview there for the budget cycle, you have us down as a September 9th meeting.
Do I?
And I'm not sure if that was something we had just said before. Like at this point, I think we probably need to set our next meeting time.
I should have just done TBD there. I just
Well,
took
I
last
just
year.
right, and the only reason I'm questioning is because other ones were, and that one was actually had a date. So, so what are folks? I mean, I feel like for the next at least 2 months minimum, I think we probably just need a once a month meeting. I'm not sure we need more than that. So do we want to just say that we'll do the third Wednesday, second Wednesday? What are people's thoughts? Did we have a set Wednesday prior to the Corona?
I don't remember, Stan, but
Yeah.
If we're going to look at those free cash guidelines, that we might want to just focus on that on the 9th and meet.
Yeah, well, we can do that. Does that give us enough time? Does that give people enough time to look at it? And I mean, I don't think that's going to be anything overly controversial. First seal.
And
So,
I think we just need a deadline. We have a deadline, then you do your
Yeah.
homework at a deadline, right?
I'm fine with the 9th. I didn't mean to question that as a date. I just wanted to. So the 9th is fine with me if we want to call that our next meeting. So I'm fine with that.
Okay, so are we scheduling a meeting, assuming that we can get access to Zoom for the 9th of September?
Yes,
I will put that in the minutes.
thank you. And as I said, I will get after Barry to remind him of our opening. Julie.
You might want to warn him that there's another one coming.
And yeah, that's part of my statement, yes.
Okay. I apologize.
It's a legitimate, you're not quitting because you don't like us, so that's
No.
not much we can do to change your mind. We can't get your grandkids here and we can't get Colorado here, so.
No.
Dan, I think the grandchildren are a giant cover-up.
You do? It's really that I want to ski again, so.
Yeah,
And I haven't skied New England since, oh my God, since the early 80s.
All right, well, having set the next meeting for September 9th, do we have anything else to discuss for this evening?
I just have one question. Do I need to ask Mary to allocate a slot for us on that evening?
No, that's probably a Margaret question.
I can do it. That's fine.
Thank you. June, I saw your hand.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know too that this year, because of the COVID, that there's going to be a lot more online classes available from the DOR. I know that they just posted one for what's new in municipal law or what's new. So as soon as we get actual dates and signups, I'll send it out to everybody in case you're interested in any of the classes.
That'd be great. Jen and I both have tons of time on our hands. So
I know.
Janet, so you're in the middle of a doctoral program?
Oh, you're on mute, Janet.
You're muted, Janet.
I applied not thinking that I would get in as quickly as I did, so.
Good for you.
I approve.
Well,
Okay.
I'm a Simmons, my master's is from Simmons, so it's, it's kind of a shoe-in. It's not like it's anything like fabulous, but.
I think it's
a lot of
pretty
work.
fabulous. Good for you.
Anyway.
Go
All right,
for
so,
it.
all right. So, oh, June, did you have something too, or
Nope.
did you just? Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. I'll follow up with Mary on the Zoom request.
Thank
And Michael,
you.
you'll be able to post the agenda.
Yeah, the agenda is really to discuss the free cash guidelines.
And
Right.
also if you want to make any changes to any of the budget forms too.
And hopefully to welcome new members.
Officially.
Anyway.
Yes.
Oh, God, fabulous. I'm coming in. Okay.
All right.
Somebody needs to move that we
I make a
adjourn.
motion that we adjourn so Stan can go watch the Bruins.